Hello everybody, we are from Group 2 and before we begin, let us introduce ourselves briefly. I am Angelia Theresia.
I'm Disca Ariesti.
I am Sekarani Suteguh P.
I'm Syarifah Nurul.
I am Tania Putri.
Today we are going to be talking about diction in syntax. And syntax will begin by explaining the definition, the purpose, and the types of diction in literature. And then we'll continue by setting the definition and the main elements of syntax. To finish, we'll show you the analyzed examples of both diction and syntax. So, what is syntax? What do you know? What is diction? What do you know about diction? Diction is the choice of words in any written or spoken text. It is an essential aspect in deciding the quality of a text. When selecting the diction, you must pay attention to factors such as accuracy, clarity of a word, as well as suitability to the context. There are 4 purposes of diction in writing. First, create a certain tone that supports purpose. Second, support the setting. 3, establish a narrative voice and tone. 4, bring characters to life. And there are also 8 different types of diction in writing. First, formal diction. Formal diction is the usage of debonair language without slangs or colloquialism. It sticks to the structure of sentences like grammatical rule and uses complicated syntax. This kind of diction is often found in professional texts, business documents, and legal papers. 2. Informal diction. Informal diction is more colloquial and often used in narrative literature. This casual vernacular is representative of how people communicate in real life, which affords an author freedom to portray more realistic characters. It's mostly used in short stories and novels. 3. Pedantic diction. Pedantic diction is used in literature to describe characters who speak in a highly educated manner. The words are chosen specifically to express only one meaning. F. Scott Fitzgerald, The Great Gatsby, is an example of this diction. 4. Colloquial diction. Colloquial words or expressions are informal in nature and mostly typify a certain region or time. Examples of colloquial diction are ain't and yo that were born in rural areas of the United States. Colloquialism adds color and realism to writing. 5th, slang diction. Slangs are words that arise within a particular culture or subgroup but gain traction. It can be a new word, a shortened or modified word that acquire a new meaning. Examples of common modern slang words are dope, which means cool or awesome, salty, which means bitter, angry, or agitated, and GOAT, which is an abbreviation for greatest of all time. 6. Abstract diction. Abstract diction is used to state something impalpable, like an idea or an emotion. Abstract phrases often miss physical detail and specificity because they are things the reader cannot endure through their 5 senses.
Concrete diction. Concrete diction is the usage of words for their factual meanings and often refer to things that appeal to the sense. The writer is specific and detailed in their presence, therefore, the meaning is not open to interpretation. For example, the sentence, I ate a peach. Number 8, poetic diction. Poetic diction is driven by lyrical words that refer to a specific theme reflected in a poem and create a mellifluous or harmonious, and it's found It usually includes the use of a descriptive language, sometimes said to be a beat or rhyme. Next. Examples of diction in literature. The first one is Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. He opens his classic story with the line above. The line specifies experience and emotions, hence, this is an abstract diction. It conveys intrigue and piques curiosity, persuading the reader to find out more. Next. Number 2, we have J.R.R. Tolkien, The Lord of the Rings. Faithless is he that says farewell when the road darkens. In his diction, it is seen that Tolkien thought of his Lord of the Rings as a work of mythology rather than a conventional novel. His language is not at all conversational. Next. The number 3, we have William Shakespeare, Hamlet. Dope though the stars are fire, dope that the sun doth move, dope truth to be liar, but never dope I love. Shakespeare has a remarkably unique diction. It is frankly not easy to tell how much of this Shakespeare unique diction and how much is the dialect of Elizabethan England. However, contemporary readers can easily tell that Shakespeare is writing through such as features as the pronouns the, ortho, and verb conjunction dot instead of thus. Next. Number 2, we are enter the next syntax. What is syntax? The word syntax from the Greek words syn means together and tax means to arrange, denotes the orderly or systematic arrangement of parts or elements. However, when we are discussing poetry, syntax refers to actual arrangement of words or the rules of grammar and convention of word order that are reflected in such arrangements. The three main elements involved in syntax. The first one is sentence length, means shorter and longer. The number 2, sentence structure, simple, compound, complex, and compound or complex. The number 3, sentence pattern, placement of subjects, verbs, objects, and complements, correct subject, verbs, agreement. Every accurate and precise sentence or utterance can be taken as an example of syntax. On the other hand, syntax alone cannot be taken as an example because it does not make a precise sentence. For example, the sentence colorless blue ideas sleep relaxedly is syntactically correct, but it does not have a meaning. Despite the general word order of an English sentence is subject plus verb plus object. The word order in poetry might be substituted to achieve certain artistic effects, such as producing rhythm or melody in the lines, achieving emphasis and heightening connection between two words.
The example of syntax in literature. From Beyond Decoration by P.G. Kavanagh. Rather than saying, I cannot go out, to convey the person's inability to go out, P.G. Kavanagh shifts the syntax and say, go out, I cannot, in his poem by Beyond Decoration. The sentence then lies amongst stronger emphasis on the inability to go out conveyed by the word cannot. In casual conversation, it can be simply said, I cannot go out, to convey our inability to go out. PG Kavana from Beyond Decoration doesn't rely on merely stating a proceed, I cannot go out. Rather, the shift the syntax and size go out I cannot, which lies a much stronger emphasis on the inability to go out conveyed by the word cannot. The next example from Lycidas by John Milton. T separate T, the word, and digit kept, with wild thyme and the garden vine overgrown, and all their echoes mourn. The modified word order in the above line is object plus subject complement plus verb. And the last example from the Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. Love will not be constrained by mastery. When mastery comes, the god of love known beats his wings, and farewell, he is gone. Love is a thing as any spirit free. This example comes from a translation of Geoffrey Chaucer, Middle English masterpiece, The Canterbury Tales. Even though it's a modernist, it is embraced hints of the Middle English syntax. It can be seen from the subject agreement, the good of love, and the verb agreement, beat. The final line also has an unusual arrangement of word, love is a thing as any spirit free. Nonetheless, Chaucer has still chosen an arrangement that makes sense an English-speaking reader. He says that love is like a free spirit, but in a more poetic way.
Diction and syntax. The difference between diction and syntax. Syntax is how the chosen words are used to form a sentence or utterance, and diction is to the choice of words in a specific situation. The following examples have similar syntax but different diction. First, the boy jumped happily. Third, the girl sang beautifully. Third, the dog barked loudly. Each of the sentences above has the same syntax, follows the word order of subject plus verb plus adverb. However, each sentence uses different diction. The following examples have similar diction but different syntax. First, the boy jumped happily. Second, the boy happily jumped. Third, happily the boy jumped. Each of the sentences above has the same diction, used the same 4 words. However, each sentence has different word order, one of elements of syntax. This is example of poems by Edgar Allan Poe. The title is The Bells. Hear the sledge with the bells, silver bells. What a world of merriment their melody foretells. How they tinkle, tinkle, tinkle in the icy air of night, while the stars that offered sprinkle all the heavens seem to twinkle with a crystalline delight, keeping time in a sort of runic rhyme.
Diction analysis. The words used in the bells are lyrical, therefore, it is a poetic diction. The choice of the word chosen in the opening lines is expressed in a light, happy, and cheerful sound. In the second and third line, the subject agreements, silver, merriment, and melody create a positive and uplifting atmosphere that hints a cool winter day and the twinkling of the lights. Not only that, he also used the words tinkle and time in the fourth and ninth line to describe the repetition echoes of tinkling sound. However, in the 10th line, the bells are a mystery because of the hint given with a tricky word as runic. Next, syntax analysis. The opening lines of Edgar Allan Poe's poems, the bells are written in a simple structure, and the length of the lines are short. Furthermore, the word order used in the poem are mostly modified. For example, in the first line, hear the sledge with the bells. The modified word order is subject plus object plus complement, and in the third line, what a word of merriment their melodies foretell. The modified word order is complement plus subject plus verb. And next poem by Oscar Wilde, Her Voice. Swore that two lives should be like one. As long as the seagull loves the sea, as long as the sunflower sought the sun, it shall be, I said, for eternity, twixt you and me. Dear friend, those times are over and done. Love's web is spun. Diction analysis. In the line above, the speaker portrays the vows he made with her loved one. The kind of diction used in this line is poetic diction, as the choice of the words are lyrical, and abstract diction, as the words applied in the poem are mostly related to emotions. For example, in the second line, as long as the seagull loves the sea, and in the seventh line, dear friend, those times are over and done. Despite in the first line, in which she conveyed that she and her unnamed companion would live as one person for the rest of the time. In the final line, she stated otherwise. Love's web is spun, means that it is spun out and completed. Next, syntax analysis. The verb agreement used in Oscar Wilde's poem Her Voice in the first line, swore, is a past form of the word swear, while the subject agreement stated word order pertained in second and third line is both subject plus verb plus object as the general arrangement of words of English language. In spite of saying between you and me, which means from one to another of, Wilde shifts the syntax and say, twixt you and me. It lay much stronger emphasis on the connection between two persons conveyed by the word twixt. In summary, diction is the choice of words in any written or spoken text. There are 8 different types of diction in writing, such as formal, informal, pedantic, colloquial, slang, abstract, concrete, and poetic diction. Whereas syntax is the arrangement of words or the rules of grammar and conventions of word order that are reflected in such agreements. There are three main elements involved in syntax, which are sentence length, sentence structure, and sentence pattern. At the end, we are thank you for paying attention to our presentation from the first slide to the last slide. Thank you.